Many things happened the past year. I'll relate to you so you will know why. Today is particularly auspicious. We are greatly privileged, and it's a great pleasure to be able to talk to you on this day about her and explain to you what is going on. First of all, that song was specially designed for our temple. That Kavi who made it, he passed away, a wonderful soul, is written books on various subjects. And he passed away recently, and today I want to think of him. And today you should particularly think of Agastya Bhagavan and Lobamutra. In our temple, now during the renovation and reconstruction, is very active. Lobamutra, Agastya Bhagavan. All rishis are very active, particularly Agastya Bhagavan and Lobamutra. So month of Aadi, the reason is the constellation movement. The sun enters Kadaka. Kadaka is moon ruling Kadaka. So you can see when sun enters that house, which is ruled by moon, you have both. That happens rarely. Once a year it happens during that time. And that time she graces us and we invoke her, we honor her, we receive her. So you can see astronomically this is a very important month because both sun and moon, because sun is Atman, sun representative of Atman, moon is mind. So both Prakriti and Purusha, both are, it's important for both. And on that day, we are starting the month, and we have 5, this year, we are fortunate, we'll have 5 Velli, Aadi Velli. And as I said, this day is very auspicious. In the month of Aadi, it's most auspicious. The first day, that is today, she will manifest as Swarnambika. Swarnambika. Swarnambika is material wealth, material. That will be our main focus. That's what people want, most of us. And today is the day she will manifest as Swarnambika. Next Friday, she will manifest as Agilandeshwari, second aspect, which is mainly for courage. And the third Friday, she will manifest. When I say she will manifest, she is manifesting all the time. But that aspect of her, third Friday would be Kalikambar. Fourth Friday would be Bagalamukhi aspect, Rajamatangi aspect. And the fifth would be Mahalakshmi aspect. So there will be 5 Friday. We will have the opportunity to come and honor her and receive from her. As I said, this month is the most important month for Mariamman worship, number 1. Number 2, any major catastrophe, she has predicted it for many years, and we know that this catastrophe is going to happen. But it's mitigated to majority of the degree. 1918, 1917, 18, 19 time frame, 33 million people died. But now 1 million, 1.5 million. But the effect would continue. Even though this will subside, there'll be a peak, another peak. It'll mutate slightly. It'll be a little different. I'm even concerned vaccine too may not be that effective as we expect because it's starting to mutate. When it mutates, the antibodies you'll get after you get vaccination may not be as effective. But we can be sure because Mother has predicted it. She has told us about this plague which would come. Many years we have talked about it. And she'll protect us. She'll protect the world. And all this we do, it's for the world, not just for us. It's for humanity, for everyone in the world. This, all these homas, abhishekam, alankaram, all those we do and give our soul, our atman, and connect to this. This would help the world. This is for the world. So you think of the world as a beneficiary, not just us, our family, our relatives, the whole world, because she's doing it for the world. About 3 months ago, she asked me to come to her. When I say come to her, there was an ancient temple built probably in Trita Yuga. I'm saying Trita Yuga because there was Agastya Muni, a village close by. It's called Agastya Muni. There's an Agastya temple. And that is the time when he gave Ram Bhagavan the Aditya Hridaya mantra, because that's the time the war between Ravana and Rama, the Tirtha Yuga. So you can imagine it's an ancient place. I've even never heard of it. They call her, they refer to her as Chandra, Devi Chandra Vadana. That's Chandra Vadana. Chandra is mine. Chandra Vadana. Mahamayi Chandra Vadana. It's an ancient temple. It must have been destroyed many times and rebuilt many times. It's not even in this yuga. I went there. She asked me to make a yatra, bring all of you. So mentally I take all of you. You are not there, but you are there. Because when I do the ritual she asks me, I think all of you and the earthling, life form itself, but you are close, so naturally you'll be thought of more closely, more intimately. So you made that yatra. And this place, it's a district of Tehri. It's close to Devaprayag, Rudraprayag, those area, about 10,000 feet high. And it's built on top of a temple. I don't know how they can build the temple on the peak. And you have to go. I didn't even realize it was that difficult to do. It was very hard. But you know, in a spiritual path, you have to do something called penance. That makes your soul closer to divine. So in our tradition, we do what is called penance. We don't do it deliberately, take pain. No, we don't recommend that. We don't encourage it. At least Hinduism doesn't recommend it. But what we have to do, we have to do. And this is a result. So she said, now you do. This becomes her home. This is Mahamariamman Sannithanam. And strangely, you people may not know, those of you who had been here for 22 years, 23 years, the first manifestation of her was this deity. Now she's back as Mahamari. And Mahamari is a pure, she is the origin of everything. From her comes Tirumurtis and all the other deities. So she is the most important. And here we, on this day, on this auspicious time of the year for Mariamman, we get to do this. We'll do it for 5 Fridays. And that's a huge, huge boon, unimaginable boon. I can appreciate it because I was there. I know how hard it is to reach her there. But she said, no, this is my place now, and I'll be here. And also she said, I'll make this place Rameshwaram. So she asked me to go to Rameshwaram and do certain rituals and certain new deities to be brought here and placed. So this place will have the sanctity of that. So it has sanctity of Himalayas, Kasi and Rameshwaram. So she does it beautifully. And these things you cannot plan. You cannot think, because we would not know. I would not know all this thing. She designs, she instructs, and she makes sure I do it, and I do reach, I do survive to reach the top of that peak, Chandravadana temple peak, and then do the rituals. So beneficiary of all this, first of all, is you. You are all the beneficiary because that was done as a tirtha. So all the rituals, she tells what all to do, we do them, and then you becomes a participant in that. So it's called tirtha yatra. That yatra is the tirtha yatra. And that place is a very auspicious place. Now she is here, so she's given a chance to do it again for her here. So this is the basis of Shakti as Mahamari. And strangely, Mariamman is connected to plagues, smallpox, or the bad disease for which there was no treatment at that time. Even now we have vaccination, but we don't have any specific treatment. But smallpox is contained. But there will be others. We saw one, we are seeing one right now. And the effect of this won't stop now. The economic, political, there will be very, very repercussion of this by the time it ends. And we won't be, because she has promised us, I will protect my devotees. You don't have to worry. But we want the world to be protected. We want, because this will lead to many repercussions people don't realize. There'll be political, economic, war. Okay, we will blame China, and China will blame, so that'll go on and on and on. And there will be catastrophe. But we are doing whatever she told us to do, and we will be protected. So you think of Mahadevi as origin, Mahamayi as origin, Mahamayi or Mahamari. From her, this song, if you can, get that record, listen to it again and again. You will see very deep truths will be in that song. I listened to it so many times. And that Kavi was a wonderful soul. 100 books is written. You can imagine how wise, how knowledgeable. And he had the grace of Mother Meenakshi. And the medium who gave us the information initially is Mother Meenakshi. She will have her own Sannithanam. This whole place will transform. In the next year and a half, it will be the most meaningful and most beautiful and most powerful temple, because she's bringing all those aspects. There'll be 24 Sannithanams inside. And then next to Drishtipiram, there'll be 14 of deities, many of which you have never even heard of. Some of them you might have heard of. They will be classified under village deity, Grama Devata. But actually they are the most effective. They are very close to us. They're like a constable and the police commissioner. Who will be protective of your house 24 hours a day? If you have a policeman, he is more protective than a police chief. You won't know, and you won't know him. So it is like that. So she is going to bring them, 14 of them, next to Drishtipiram. There will be a magnificent place. So even physically it will be magnificent. Psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, in all angles, this cannot be thought of. It can be only thought of by her. And you have to have a grace for her to give it to us. So you have the grace. Look at the benefits you see. By coming, you realize that you have done things to invoke her. So you can honor her, you can consume her. That's the mission of our temple. To share her grace with the world, with the humanity, because this is Kali Yuga. So don't people ask me, why bad things like this happen? Why won't it happen? It should happen, it will happen. This is Kali Yuga. That's why the whole Yuga, these things will happen, and we need her to protect us. So she came in the right time, she gave all the information, many deep mystical information she has given us. We will use it, we will install it, you will receive it. And this is for the world. Whoever, we have devotees outside, Middle East, Asia, and they will all get it. The world will get it. But if you know, you become more personal. She becomes a personal goddess. Personal goddess. In this temple, she is. I'm a mailman. I deliver mail to you. I bring mail and share with you. The mail originates from her. No other place I know. I see some siddhas in India. They are awed. How can she do this for humans? Be so personal and do so much, so many things. And then we are the beneficiary. And the world is a beneficiary. Now we already seen one sign of what she was telling. This is the age of Asuras. And there are many Asuric forces. And she is mother of Asuras. Why we need Asuras? The first question I was contemplating in the past 25 years. We do need Asuras. Without them, we would not ascend. There won't be any meaning. We cannot go to Devaloka unless we face the Asuric effect and overcome their effect and make them help us. Look at Kartikeya. All the Asuras became his vehicle. That's a fundamental principle in our tradition. We accept they exist, and they also created by her. She's the only one which is real, which is in us, in our Atman. That's the only spark of her. Rest of it is part of Prakriti. It will go away. But Atmano. So in this month, sun enters that house ruled by moon. Now, how beautiful can that be? And how much you have to know to make sure it happens that time. She has to tell us. And she has to give all the information. And we knew this month of Aadi, many wonderful things will happen in our temple. And we will start the construction process. The COVID delayed us by 3 months. Now we'll start. It'll take a year and a half. She's so precise. Even those 14 deities next to the Shripiram, nobody knows. And if you don't know and don't become familiar, they will protect you. But it won't be as intense as you know them. And you will know them. She'll make sure they come to a defense when we need, and we will need. You have seen small thing, virus, how much problem it has caused to the world, economically, politically, in many ways. Small organism. There are many, many powerful Asura beings. They will come and she will protect. And this is age. That's the reason why it's Kali Yuga. She has beautifully planned. Long before 60 years ago, she told me, you will build a house when I'm ready, and that house, I will come and protect the world. So many years ago, I even forgot. Then Mother again reminded me about 25, 26 years ago. There's an American lady, you have seen her, her name is Dr. Keski. She came to her too. She did not know who the deity was. She reminded me, I told you that many years ago. That's Mother Meenakshi aspect. Now you can start. And we started it. So all this are very mystical. This temple is a very mystical temple. It is not like a regular temple. Somebody plans, his family in Bombay wanted to recreate the Rajagopuram. They came to our Stabati about a year and a half ago to build one in Bombay. That Rajagopuram. Because that Rajagopuram is not Rajagopuram. It's Raja Sannithanam. Because each deity is Prana Pratishta. So it's just not a Gopuram. It's Raja Sannithanam. There's nothing like this exists. But somehow figured out this is unique, so they wanted him to recreate. Of course, he told him, I can build it, but it won't be that. Because that was built, you know how it was built? Do you know the story behind? She told me, to bring that energy the way I want, you have to have Vishwakarma. Now, how do you get Vishwakarma? Can you hire Vishwakarma? Can any hire Vishwakarma? No. Vishwakarma is heavenly being. She has to tell him, just like she told him, create the world through Brahma, Vishnu, and Rudra. She has to instruct. So he told him no, and they were very upset. He said, we'll give you the best land and 100 crores, whatever money you want. Then he said, I'll do that. But I have to be honest. This was built because she told me to do a homa, special homa, invoke Vishwakarma, gave me a mantra. And you know, strangely, the mantra had beautiful bijas. Not even one bija I can remember. The priest can't remember. And the Stavati can't remember. It's taken out. How can you do a homa, very, very detailed homa, 2-hour homa? So many devatas she invoked, so many bija. That particular bijas are gone. What does it mean? It means no one can build it until they can invoke Vishwakarma with that bija. Now Vishwakarma, you have mantra, he is a heavenly architect. Brahma gave him the position to build, to create the universe. So he is a builder of the universe. So he was very honest. He told them that we cannot. If she wants, she will make someone else. She can maybe give you that privilege. Any one of you, she can. Somebody has to continue the tradition. You know, some people around me ask me, what happened? What happened to the mantra, tantra, and yantra? She has given it to you. I said she's given it to me to use it. I'm a mailman. I use it. When my time comes and I move, she will transfer it. Who would that be? Any one of you. And within a second, she will transfer the wisdom, that knowledge, the ability, and the spiritual knowledge to be able to use that mantra, that yantra, and that tantra. She will give it. It's hers, belongs to the temple. I don't even consider that as mine. I never had it, and it's given for the world through this temple. So the plan she has for the next year and a half is magnificent. You have to see it to believe it. So participate. And she has given us a chance to participate. To participate in a temple construction is a big boon, any temple. Because, Mother told me that, you can feed 1,000 people, but if you can feed one soul and make the soul know me, that is a bigger thing for me. Because I'm all interested in that, not the Prakriti aspect. That will be gone. There will be millions of universes I create by thinking. And all these life forms are there. Different forms, different types of life forms, but they are there. So, to touch a soul and to help in sharing that grace which she's giving us. Now you get a feeling how mind-boggling that is. It is not a regular temple. And that Raja Sannithanam, she has given us so precisely an article which is buried underneath Mother. You can't see that, but I'll make a copy of that, keep it outside. That is Ark of Covenant, a beautiful object covered with gold. I'll make a copy of that. Try to make a copy of that. I'll tell the stuff, but they keep it next to Mother so you can get to see it. That Ark of Covenant is what Judaism all about. Because Jehovah said, you make that and carry that with you. You will win wars and you will create a culture. Look, 15 million people. Do you know that? In the world, there are only 15 million people. Look what they have accomplished. 7 billion people in the world, 15 million people. That is given by Jehovah through the Ark of the Covenant. And they have a covenant. You don't do certain things, you do certain things, the 10 Commandments. And as long as they keep the covenant, they will give intellect. You know what will happen now? Our progeny, your progeny, the next generation, they'll have the same potential. So bring your children, make them understand. So they will be given extra wisdom, ability. So your tribe will grow like the Jewish tribe grows. And that comes from higher centers, not from ordinary mind, Vijnanamaya, higher mind. And today, by coming here and doing this function on this day, you stimulate that. Maybe our time is too late now to get to that level of understanding. Your children will be the one. So that Ark of Covenant is there underneath the Mother. It's called Shakti Pita. Shakti Pita. Many of you won't know that. Because that Ark of Covenant is lost. It has gone through so many hands. It was in Europe, 14th, 15th century last, and they don't know where it is. It is someplace there, but no one knows exactly where it is. But the energy is there, energy of that Ark of the Covenant. And we have it here. We know where it is. As I said, I'll try to make a copy of that, put it next to Mother so you can get to see it. No, the point I'm trying to make is she is so precisely doing so many things for the world, for us, and for our future generations. You cannot get that. So this temple is not like a regular temple. It's a very mystical temple. That is the reason why she gives so much. I visit Himalayas twice a year, and these are all wilderness. These rishis, this Agastya Maharishi was there in Trita Yuga. Lobamitra Agastya Maharishi. But they are always there. They are Siranjeevi. They are eternal beings, they are always there. So when I went there and did the ritual, he was there. And here we have Agastya Maharishi. We will have a separate Sannithanam for him because he does a lot for us. So we'll have a separate Sannithanam. He is there as a part of Rajagopuram. But we should give him that honor because he's very intimately connected to all of you. Lobamitra and Agastya Bhagavan. And Lobamitra is a big Maharishi. I don't know if you know the story of Lobamitra. Agastya wanted a mate, and there's nobody worthy and nobody would find somebody to give him. So he created her. Intense tapas, intense thought, intense consciousness of him. He created Lobamitra as a child to a king, and when she grew up to be adult, he came and took her. So it's a beautiful story on Lopamutra and Agastya. So you think of them as much as you can. So now coming back to the five aspects, the five Fridays, we'll have 5 different aspects of her. Today is Swarnambika, today. And when we do the Abhishekam, you know what you're doing? You are thinking of her, you're doing the mantras, but you affectionately engulf her and give your all the ahutis we pour into her that comes from her heart. Love, extreme affection, extreme love, that's what you have. When we do the Abhishekam, you're offering that, you're engulfing them. There's a basis for that. Why Abhishekams are very important. To do and to observe. Higher than that would be Homa. We will do that one of these days. We have a special Homa Kunda, and she took the position to be the monitor of that Homa. She's the chairman of the board. She'll monitor it, make sure we do Homas, we do all the functions properly, we invoke proper deities, we use proper mantra. So precisely, so personally, so deeply she's connected. What have we done to deserve that? We have done something to deserve it, otherwise you won't get that. So in the many, many births time, maybe 100 births or more, you have asked with impassioned plea, and this lifetime it happened. And how beautifully she does. Give somebody who doesn't have the ability, which should be me, because I knew I cannot build a temple the way she wants. I won't even know all these aspects she's talking about. Most of us, we don't know. But she makes sure, I will. And I will bring Vishwakarma and make you do a homa for him, and she did. And the sthapati we have, it took a long 4 years to find. Initially, he was a good sthapati. He has built many, many temples all over the world. But after he got involved, after we did that homa for Vishwakarma, he's a changed man. He learned so much information was given to him. Information not known was given to him, and he used it in this temple. One example, the temple tank, hopefully we will have it. I'm saying hopefully, it's not easy the way she wants it. And there's a deity for that. Her name is Ambuja Ambika. Have you heard of her? Ambuja Ambika. No, you won't have heard of her. Very unusual deity. She says, from the beginning I've been blessing them. She is water. She is Apa, the water. 75% of us is water. She's been blessing, but she said, if they see me and think of me, I can do more. Or what I do will touch them more closely. So she said, if you can, build the Teppakulam. Teppakulam in India, ancient temples have. It has to be done precisely the way she wants. If we succeed, I don't want to say I, because I consider you as a team. Otherwise, why would I have to go through all this yatras? I've done enough and I have enough. It's done for you. And that's why I was halfway. I thought I was gone because I didn't take any extra oxygen, which is stupidity. Because Dr. Keski gave me a tank, a little tank now. So take it with you. I didn't take it with me. Middle of the thing, I thought I'm not going to make it. But the same token, I know I will make it because I have a job to do. Till the job is done, I know I will make it. So somehow, with great difficulty, we accomplished it. And again, she made sure that I'm not taken in the middle of the game. We can't take the player. The player has to be here, and you have to do it. So the many, many wonderful things will happen, and you'll get to see them. Already, many of you, she has communicated. I know that. Many of you, the Kundalini, all of you Kundalini is awakened. If Kundalini is not awakened, you won't be here. For us to be here, Kundalini has to be awakened, but where it is, are you taking it all the way to Sahasrara and bring it back and take it? That will happen. She will make sure by the time you finish your journey, you will be there. Because she has given you all that, so she would want you to enjoy it. And to do that, ultimately, any spiritual activity, it has to be through Kundalini. And as a human, your Kundalini is awake, otherwise you won't be a human. When the Mooladhara becomes active, you become a human, and Ganesha would be the leader for that. So Ganesha is active, and he'll start the travel. But you have to take it. You have to carry it step by step by step, and go. And Mother will make sure you do that, and you will do that because I see already so many things she has done ritualistically, and that will enhance the Kundalini activity, whether you consciously do or not. As long as you have Mother's grace, which you have, otherwise you won't be here. When you have Mother's grace, she will make sure it happens somehow. Some people it may happen very quickly, some of our devotees it happens very quickly, but still the journey goes on. That Kundalini brings you the wisdom, the knowledge, and the connection to Devas. They are in Devaloka, and this is a Devaloka. Many gurus who came here have mentioned this place is a Devaloka because they are actively present here. When they are actively present, that becomes a Devaloka. But can you connect to them? That's up to us. With the grace of Mother, with our affection like today, if you think of her deeply and offer her and engulf her with all these ahutis, you will. And then you do homa. Next time we'll do homa. Come and participate. Because there you use other methodology. You use actual devatas to carry the message. So that's a different type. But Abhishekam is very, very effective, and you should participate as much as you can in any Abhishekam, because that connects you deeper to them. If Divine wants to engulf you, connect to you, you should be happy to do that. It's not something we do for the Divine. It's something Divine does. And that grace, I use the word grace. Grace is arul. That is earned by many, many lifetimes. And this temple, many of you, I see, you have earned. That means you have been asking her many, many times. You won't remember it, or you may not remember it, or maybe you remember it, I don't know. But then the result would be this kind of a travel. You'll find a place. Many, many devotees come. This one person came from Philadelphia, I think, last 2 weeks ago. He said he just had a vision, an American, both he and his wife, young wife. They came and they saw this, they could not believe it. Doctor, we envisioned it, we never thought it existed. We just followed her instruction, came. So they are not even Hindus, they're Christians, but they had pure faith. And they had what is called grace. And they came and went into meditation for a few hours, stayed for 3 days, and I'm sure they'll be coming back. But so she does it. You don't have to be Hindu, but our Hindu tradition makes it easier because it becomes a pathway, a freeway. We'll be knowledgeable about that. Whereas others, they're not that easy. They're very complex, and they don't go to that level because you got to go beyond senses. Mind, body, intellect, ego is one level. You need it. You use it to go to certain degree. Then that Atman becomes active. And Devi comes and activates it. See, ultimately it's Devi's grace which makes Shiva become Sadasiva. Sadasiva would be the first aspect of Shiva who would be active. So she wakes up and she becomes part of him. That's the beauty of it. She creates and becomes part of it. So all the creation, she becomes part of it. The concept itself is beautiful. The minute you say creator and created, there's a separation there. Right? It will be. No, she becomes created. Prakasha, Vimarsa. So she is a Vimarsa and Shiva aspect is a Prakasha. All these concepts are beautiful, very profound. I can't believe how easily we get that, because our tradition is that. You've been taught that. You've seen, I don't know how much they know, but we know. And here, she teaches us, she gives us the practical aspect, and most importantly, the grace. Like today, the first day of Aadi Velli, she makes sure we are here, and we are here. She made sure that we do the Abhishekam, we get to see the Abhishekam. And most importantly, she made sure that you listen to this. You understand this. And then you become part of. So the plan she has, what she's going to do, is fantastic. You cannot believe. You have to see it to believe it. I have to see it to believe it. Because so precisely, to go to the Grama Devata and make sure they are here, energize them, and give them to us. Who will think of it? Because I have never seen a temple with all the Grama Devatas. There are many temples in India that have Grama Devatas, but not all of them. And the most meaningful of them. And not just installing them. Installing anyone with the knowledge of that would do it. But you have to energize them. That is different methodology. It's not just building them. You can build a place, but you got to make it energized. In other words, the cosmic energy has to be infused in those deities. The 530 or 540 deities we have, she made us do prana pratishta. And then she asked me, how are you going to do abhishekam for me? You brought my energy, but you have to do abhishekam. You got to keep the energy up. How are you going to do it? I cannot go and do that. No, I will give you that embryo. The embryo. I'll give you the embryo. You do that abhishekam for the embryo. And you do the prayogam, which she taught me. That's what I do. Like every day I come here before I do any function. I do prayogam in the morning. There, you're a worker. She teaches you the secret, certain secretive thing you do. So they may not know what you're doing, but they'll get the benefit of them. That is why it is called prayogam, not yoga. Yoga is one where you control your senses and reach that stage where they don't interfere with your concentration. That is one stage where you have taken care of your soul because you do yoga and you're able to go into samadhi. But here, no, you're a worker. She tells you what to do, and I do them. But in the process of telling me the secret, she has to tell me the secret. Otherwise, I won't know. You would not participate. So that much she has done. So that's a huge benefit. So I can't even complain that I'm getting the highest possible thing anyone can get. So the rishis, Vishwamitra Maharishi, she gave the first mantra. There are many, this time too, Vasishta's place in Rishikesh. I was there 3 months ago. She asked me to do something for Vashishta. Vashishta, as you know, is a brother of Agastya Maharishi. He's Rama's guru. So she wanted me to do certain ritual. So you'll have Vashishta's grace. Now how can anybody do that? How can anyone even think of it? When I go to Yatra, I go to something, and even Rameswaram, precisely she did. There's 22 tirthas in Rameshwara. She said, you involve all the tirthas and invoke them with this mantra and bring 3 different lingas, which I gave to Rama. I told him that he has Brahmahati dosham because he killed Ravana. Ravana is a mighty Brahmin. Brahmin is a person who has realized his soul. That's a Brahmin. He has realized it. He's the highest being. And you killed him. So there is karma. Because you're an avatar. You're not Mahavishnu. So nicely, she explained to him. So you do this. Bring this 3 linka. Visvalinka was brought by Hanuman. We are making it. We will get that. Then Sita Devi made one. And then Rama made 1 linka. 3 linkas. You worship Shiva Bhagavan, which is me, Shiva Shakti. I'm Shiva Shakti. Through them. Then your dosha would end. So nicely. To Rama Bhagavan, she's telling him. That story you probably don't even know. It's not a well-known story. She told me the story and she made me, I'm making it now, that the special linga, we'll install it along with Kubera Shivalinga. See, Kubera is Ravana's brother, as you know. Kubera is a very high being. He's a mighty being. That's why he wanted to be Shiva. So he asked Shiva, can I be you? Shiva Bhagavan said, no. In this house of mine, you be a Kubera Shivalinga. So you'll get the respect, you'll get the recognition, but I'll be with you. So we had Kubera Shivalinga. Now we'll have this Shivalinga. Vishwalinga, Sita Linga, Rama. Now, how would anybody know this? How would anybody plan for this? And how can you even get it? You have to know that. She wants you to have that. So she gives it. Otherwise, I would not know. and I won't tell you. If I don't know, I can't tell you. So she has planned it. You should have what he did, and many of us have many karmic doshas. So many lifetimes we accumulated it. She wants us to burn it as much as we can. So coming here and doing that Rameshwaram thing like Ram Bhagwan did, it will make these doshas go down. So you may save yourself 100 more lifetimes, 100 more life to remove that dosha. I don't know what it is, but we probably have. So we will have that. So this temple will have that. So when I see all this, it's all mind-boggling and not even real. It cannot happen to him. That's why the siddhas I mean, very high siddhas. I'll bring a couple of them here. One of them reads the scrolls, a nadi. He can look and know. He needs Agastya nadi. So that means he communicates with Agastya. And Agastya tells him precisely what's going on here. And they all know what's going on here. There's a Dharmabhri Adinam. Have you heard of it? No, there's a Kamakodi Pitam is one. Dharmabhri Adinam. These recognized as an authority of Hindu tradition. They chose a new Madhadipati. Because other Madhadipati who knows about our temple and helped us a lot, he was 105 years old. He reached Samadhi about a year ago, and they got this. His name is Masalamani Swamigal. I never met him. I have not seen either of them. But I have seen them when I do the prayogam, they join. But not in the physical level, I have not seen them. He has told that Siddha, whatever Agastya Bhagavan tells you about this temple, you do that. Whatever they need to be done, they will need many, many things right now. For the next year and a half, we will do many, many different types of homas, different types of rituals. Only Adinam can do that. Because it takes many, many hours, many, many priests. Takes month. There's one they're doing now. It's a 1 month homa every day. So anyway, the point is, he's telling him, do everything they need. Don't even ask for Dr. Kumar to ask you. He may not even know that. But when you know, if Agastya Bhagavan tells you, in that scroll, you automatically do it. You take it for granted, I want it done. And of course, let Dr. Kumar know that. But I know what we need because mother tells me, I need this. Because even though she's the only thing which is reality, she wants us to go through logic. If you want to invoke a devata, you do certain things in logical fashion. It's a cosmic energy. And it needs certain vibration. And you got to create that vibration to invoke that cosmic energy, which makes sense. And then they'll come. Otherwise, it'll take many lifetimes for them to reach that devata. And this place is full. On top of it, she has given us Mantra Shri Devi. How many of you have seen her? She was there, we kept her. Mantra Shri Devi. Her job is to activate the mantra and makes us realize them. Beautiful devata. We will install her. She was there in front of Kamadhenu Ambika. When we construct the new one, she will be there. She would give the ability for a human to know, to be able to see and not just hear the mantra, see the mantra. That's a different. Seeing and hearing are two different acts. Seeing the mantra means she has joined you. You've seen her, she has engulfed you. So that mantra becomes part of you. And that mantra is the Devi. That devata, whichever mantra you are invoking. So the mantra is the devata. But to be able to absorb them, you have to know them. You have to be able to see them. So these rishis are mantra drishtas. They're all called mantra drishtas, meaning they have seen the mantra, not just hear the mantra. When they see the mantra, it's part of them. And they have to give it to you. To do that, you have to have a grace. In one lifetime, you cannot. Probably takes many, many lifetimes to be able to be a mantra drishta. But our mantra Shri Devi, for those of you who are into it, she will give you the ability to be able to do that. And we will install her. So whatever she gives instruction, we will do it. And that must be necessary for some of you. And you take advantage of it. Only thing you need to give is the love, the affection. That is not hard. You give it to your mother, she's Paramatma. She's Mahadevi. She's the mother of all the mother. And to be able to be given a chance to be that is a great boon. And that's why I said, you must have asked for many, many lifetimes. You don't remember. But many, many lifetimes, not just 1, 2, 3, 100, much more. Because you had enough lifetimes. How many? Close to 1 million. Because Krishna Bhagavan told Arjuna, you had 840 lifetimes. I know you, and you don't remember that. He didn't, Arjuna didn't know that. There's probably an average lifespan, probably, for that Atman to reach, to go to next level. That is Devic level. To do that, you have to know the Devas. To know the Devas, you have to be present where they are present. Here, they are present because they all congregate here. Because Mother is here, they all come. So many, that's why this place is full of Yakshini's. There's one there, when we did a special home about 15 years ago, on a clear day, on a mid-noon, clear day, Dr. Keski, Dr. Shah, and few other physicians were there. Clear day, she sprinkled, and they came like a big ice cubes, and hit us. But when hit us, just gently touched us, like a soft snow. In the month of June, you don't get snow, and you don't get like that. I was afraid it'll come and hit us and hit the car. So that was one there. So every time I go, she's always there. I invoke her with that mantra because she was so kind. She even showed that she was there, and she sprinkled that big icicle, big one, didn't even hurt us. Soft snow in the month of June, July. And that's why you'll see her and her husband here all the time. Because they're touched, I use the word, touched by Mother. And you're all touched by Mother, otherwise you won't be here. But you got to take advantage of it. Show your love, show your affection, show your reverence. Most importantly, learn what all she teaches, learn that. Jnana, that's important. The higher wisdom, not the human wisdom, the spiritual wisdom. She will teach you. Already you learned in this past year how much you learned. There's a lot you have to think what all you learned, because methodologies are very important. The mechanisms are very important. These are scientific aspects. This is not mumbo jumbo. No. She can create in 1 minute, 1 second, she can create the whole temple. But she won't, because she knows we have to build it. Because we have to participate so that our Atman can be connected to Paramatman. Otherwise she will create in 1 second the whole temple. So you can all have. But you won't have. Because you have to participate. Make sense? Makes sense. Everything very basic, very logical. It all makes sense. She makes sure you abide by science. So they will say science and spirituality are contradictory. You cannot be scientific and be spiritual. Actually, it's not. You can be both. Einstein, before he passed away, he understood that. When he was 50 years old, he wrote an article in Boston Globe, 1950, I think. He realizes all the science, all is nothing. Who else said that? Adi Sankara said that. When he wrote the Saundrya Lahari, everything. You know, Adi Sankara, such a great soul. You could not have been human. You would be divine. He said, all the things I see a dust in your feet. I don't know you. I don't even know you. Everything I know and I wrote Saundrya Lahari because she gave him the ability to write Saundrya Lahari after he did certain rituals. And he had to do that to be able to do that. And he tells her, all the things he had given me, all the things I see, is like a dust in your feet. That means he realized there was so much of hers you would never know. Humanity probably would never know. Or any life form created, a created life form, probably may never know. Because she is everything. Huge. And what all we discuss about her, all Lalita Sahasranama, Agastya Bhagavan wrote that. Lalita Sahasranama. All this mighty, all the names and everything they wrote, it's all like a little knowledge. But you need that to go to next level. The next level is Devic level. You can be a Deva. Yakshini, you become a Yakshini, then you become Deva. It will take another evolution, another universe, different universe, spiritual universe. You'll go and you'll go into the journey. Ultimately, you become part of her. That's the end point. It's not that you'll go to a happy place called Vaikuntha, you'll enjoy it, you'll spend all the money you earned, then you'll come back. That journey is over, then you follow it. So ultimately, until you become her, journey won't end. Once you know that, show your affection to the maximum. What a privilege that is. For me to be able to discuss with you, to share with you, it's a great privilege. Great gift for me to be able to do that. Even though I know all this thing, but to be able to share. Without sharing, dana, without dana is useless. Dana doesn't even have a meaning. Dana is giving. Without giving and sharing, dana, which is a gift, which is wealth, is useless. If you don't share it, you have not enjoyed it. So dana without dana is useless. So all these concepts, Maha Saraswati will give it to you, Ganesha will give it to you, but knowledge will come through some other entity which is part of Mother. This million aspect of hers. She'll come through one of that aspect. The wisdom, it will be Ganesha. If it's knowledge, it will be Maha Saraswati. We'll all be her in that form. So we have something tangible to think of. So our tradition, I like it because I can think abstract forms. I cannot concentrate. I need to see a form. So even that concept of vigraha, I look at three aspects. There's a mantric aspect, there's a tantric aspect, then the physical aspect. So to me, vigraha is that. I don't stop at the vigraha. I go deeper than that. To do that, I have to get the knowledge and the wisdom and the grace that only Mother can give. And she has given me enough, so I know when I see the vigraha, I see all three. When I see all three, that's very meaningful. If you look at it purely as a form, it is still meaningful because you're still thinking of Mother. That is good. But if you can be touched by her, and you can touch and engulf her, that's still mightier. And this is all possible. See, what I'm saying, very simple, it's not possible. Humanity doesn't know it. You have to know it. You have to have her grace. Most importantly, you have to be blessed by her. In other words, she should want it. Arul is given to you, not something you earn and you take it. To be given to you because you asked for it and you earned it, and in many lifetimes, you did what is right. But to do what is right, someone has to tell you. And the someone can only be Divine Mother. Only Parashakthi can tell you. You call her any way you want. Chandi, Durga, there's so many bijas we use. Each one invokes one aspect. Chandi aspect, Durga aspect, Kali aspect. Each one has a mantra. They're slightly different. The vibration is slightly different. But they are all Mother. With a slight difference, because that Asura she's slaying is a little different, a little powerful. You need that vibration for that. You need Chandikeshwari for that. You need Mahakali for that. So that Maha Mantra would be a little different. And this is all logical. This is all scientific. So enjoy the day. It was a wonderful day. And I shared with you little information. They're very small, but they're meaningful. And she gave it to you. If you ask me next hour what I said, I won't know. These people know. They ask me to repeat. I cannot repeat because I do not know what she gave you. And strangely, each one of you will take one message, one benefit. And it's strange. You same talk, you hear me, but you pick up one thing. So I realize that one thing is her desire. She wants you to have that. So you'll see that information from that perspective. So I can't even say I can give it to you again. I do remember many things. I do benefit from the knowledge because when I do, see, when you work, you build a house, you build a construction man and tell him what to do. You got to tell him what to do, what you want. And when you tell him, he does know. It's not secret anymore. The guhya, the very, very profound secret information. Agastya, Bhagavan, Lobamatra, they all give it. And they give it because they know this is being shared. It's not something I take it and keep it. It's something given to humanity. Love anyone because they're all part of her. When they're part of her, how can you not love her? How can you not be kind? How can you not be compassionate? She is everything. And she asked me once, Yakshini asked me once, what can you do for her? Very simple question. She asked me, what can you do for Parashakthi? I very spontaneously said, I will share the gift she's giving me with humanity, with as many people as I can. I'll share it. She said, you're a wise man. It's the only thing that would please her. Rest of it of no meaning to her. If we can share her with any life forms, I said humanity, any life form who can benefit from that information from her, that would be the one she would want, because she is that. So, and that's what we do. That is our mission. So participate in the mission. You have a chance. Human beings don't get this chance. The many people build temple, but won't be this. This is different. It is not like a regular temple. It has a meaning. It has been instructed. I need this. I want this, because the world will go through Asuric attack. And I want to be manifest to protect that. So it is under order we are doing it, not something we design and do it. She wants us to do it. And we are given the gift to participate. So as a participant, we are greatly blessed. You are greatly blessed. I am greatly blessed. But it takes pain. Many, many things I do, my life has not been the same as it was 30 years ago. It's not mine. But now I look, it is hers, but that's the only thing I would want. My life was empty before. Whatever, I'd look at Steve Jobs. When he passed away, $20 billion worth of Apple stock he had. 1 second, it's gone. He does not own that anymore. So anything I could have had would be like that. It would be gone. But what you get now is a real investment. You will carry it because your soul will carry it. When you pass away from this mortal shell, the wisdom, the knowledge, all these mantras and everything you learn, that will be gone. So it's a long-term investment. Is there any other investment long-term? No. Nothing. Nothing can be long-term. So when your mind, body, intellect dies, that goes. Nothing is yours. This one, you enjoy it, and you go. So I was telling some person, a very wealthy man, I said, he asked me what can I do? I said, sponsor some vigraha, sponsor some deity, sponsor the tank, the temple tank, because that will be the best investment you can make. You'll carry that. After you are dead and gone, he's 70s. So I said, after you're gone, that investment you will carry. That's a true long-term investment. So sponsor it. So you can participate. You participate any way you can and you want to. There's no one who cannot participate. You come and do a little bit of cleaning. By the way, in 3 months, all this shell will be gone. This will be a beautiful place like the Rajagopura in 4 months. Hopefully we will complete it before Navaratri. So we can give her nice shell. Right now she has a nice Sannithanam, but not the shell. So we are doing it, hopefully. It's very difficult, it's not easy, because we have many Asuric attacks. I go through that. I know who they are, why they do them. But I just do it thinking I will do my best.